This is like meditation.
Sounds like an intro to a creepy movie.
A little bit, yeah.
Spooky.
Welcome, everybody, to this episode of Understable Minds. Today's special guest, all the way from Eastern Tennessee. You may know him from his likeness to the famous painter Bob Ross. You may know him from his exemplary forehand skills. The one and only Zachary Melton.
Womp, womp, womp.
Hello.
Hey, Zach, what's
Thank
up?
you. That was like a cool intro, like Chicago Bulls, 90s, like, yeah.
It was like a little bit of
hyped.
90s Bulls, a
starting
little bit of
Left-handed disc golfer.
what's his name? Edward Price, like the back in the like 50s or whatever. He was like
I wasn't born then.
some kind of like
Same.
he did a bunch of like Halloween shows on TV.
AJ, you look great for your age, by the way.
Hey, thanks.
Mid-70s?
No, I'm
Congrats.
just cultured,
Looking great, man.
like a tub of yogurt.
Dude, over there yoked.
Yoked.
Does yogurt age well? Because I
No.
feel like...
No.
No.
I feel like you get a couple weeks out of yogurt and then
More
That's
like
me.
you missed your chance.
more like 6 days.
Yeah.
Fair.
Enjoy while you can.
This is true. This is a special episode. We do have Zach Melton here. Obviously, AJ, you're also here. I'm Anthony. I'm here. We've got Danny back in the booth,
It's your boy.
in the studio. I guess
It's
we're...
just like when AJ said that, it just occurred to me that Zach in Zach Melton is also short for Zachary. It just never occurred to me that your full name was Zachary. You've always just been Zach.
Yeah.
Zachary Melting. Is
Yeah.
is
That's
that
the full
the birth
concept.
certificate?
Yes. Correct.
Zach, you will get this. I saw the coolest thing. You're a basketball fan.
True.
AJ, I guess
True.
you're a basketball fan, so you'll get
True.
this as
Oh
well.
yeah, I enjoy basketball. Quite
The
a bit.
basketball player, LaMarcus Aldridge.
Mm-hmm.
If you cut off the beginning and the end of his name, you get Marc Gasol,
What?
who is also a basketball
Who
player.
also happens to play basketball.
Consider that today's fun fact.
Wow, thank you for that. That's
And
great.
this works with all basketball players.
Has
by the way.
anyone ever seen them in the same room? 'Cause,
Not
like,
me.
No.
I've never seen either of them
Yeah,
in
okay.
any room. So
Cool. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I did just see Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, John Morant in person. Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah?
didn't really speak. I was like 20 rows up, but I
I'm
was
sure you
there.
probably like yelled too.
Oh yeah, they heard me.
Did you-
Everyone heard me.
I'd like to apologize to all of Memphis.
To
Tennessee.
everyone on rows 1 through 19, my B.
Steph, I love you. Good luck with this next free throw.
May or may not have yelled, Clay, I want to have your baby. But
That was you.
yeah, that was me. If you were listening to the broadcast,
That's why he retired early.
he's back.
Came back for a couple games, heard that, and
back.
just said, "Nah, I'm out."
Yeah, definitely set
This
up the
whole
next game.
basketball thing is
Yeah.
not it.
I mean, this
Nope.
basketball thing was fun, but I'd much rather have Zach's baby.
But anyways, yeah.
Yeah. So should we talk about like disc golf and stuff?
Whatever you guys want
right.
to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here.
All right.
I'm
Let's-
yours
Let's do it for a little bit and
for
then,
another 53 minutes.
approximately.
Yeah, something like give or take.
So you're in town, obviously.
Yeesh.
You and Macy. Is it Vela Diaz?
Yeah. I mean, there's been debate whether he should have taken her name, but yeah, it's Vela Diaz.
Just because hers is easier for us to pronounce?
No. Well,
What was that
I
supposed to
was
mean?
going based off who throws further, but yeah, they weren't.
got
yeah.
him.
I don't want to roast him like that because he does throw a little further, but I mean, if he were to throw a bad one, I think she's got him. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's probably really upset right now.
Yeah. When he hears this,
Yeah.
you guys will probably be in the car driving back to Tennessee together.
Correct.
So right about now, you got punched in the head.
Yeah.
From just like backseat,
Ow.
passenger seat,
Ow.
something like that.
Yeah, just happened.
Whoa, that's going to be real trippy when it happens.
Yeah.
So you guys are in town. We will, depending on when this comes out, you'll either be able to or have already listened to Macy's episode.
Mm-hmm.
If not, wait a day or two and we will have an episode with Macy out.
Sweet.
That one will be much better. Now would
Yeah.
be a good time to turn this episode off and just
Yeah.
go listen to that
Yeah.
one.
Oh man,
Thanks for joining, guys,
Yes.
and have a good one.
For everyone that stayed, we've got some Zach content. You're here just kind of for the weekend because of the beautiful single digit weather that we're having here?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got some team stuff, some disc orders and things like that going on.
Yeah, I chose specifically this weekend, so it would be miserable.
Right. Pretty much between last week was like 50s and 60s. This coming week is going to be like 40s and 50s. And you guys picked the worst days.
Yeah, of the whole year,
Yeah.
I think.
So far.
I mean, we woke up today and it was 7 degrees, and it hurt. It's a different kind of cold.
Yeah.
It's not
You're not cold, you're in pain.
right.
I don't know how you guys live here.
Usually when you're in pain, you put cold on it to kind of like reduce the swelling. But once the pain is from the cold, you can't. Are you just going to get colder?
I don't know what you do.
Cry.
Yeah.
Well,
It works.
Well, I
you just
did.
got to ask yourself.
I did. It didn't help. The tears froze on my cheeks. And then the ones that made it to the beard froze on the beard, and then it's like, oh, do I break
And
off
then
my? Yeah,
that hurts. So you just start
Yeah.
crying more. And
it's
they
tough.
Yeah.
And then we had to walk in.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm sorry to have
What-
to do that to you. Yeah. That's Kansas off seasons.
Yeah, I blame Macy and Jamie. Like
Okay.
I was coming by myself up to like a week and a half ago, and I was like, hey, you want to go? And then boom, they ruined it.
Right when they put out the 10-day forecast, then it's like, oh look,
Look,
now it's terrible.
it's your fault. Cool.
Definitely their fault. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Or maybe they saw the 10-day forecast and they're like, yes, sign me up.
I don't know. They were crying too.
I'm all about adversity.
Yeah, not fun. Let's get out of that and we'll get into some disc golf stuff. It's obviously the off season. How has your off season been so far?
It's actually been really nice. I haven't played a tournament since October, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, been kind of taking it easy. Usually I kind of play throughout the off season. Like where I live specifically in like East Tennessee, our weather isn't really bad till like February. So we
Okay.
pretty much play like all winter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been kind of taking it off. I still play like casually with friends, but not as much as usual and no tournaments. So it's been nice. It's been chill.
Okay. Is that kind of your typical off season of maybe a little bit of field work here, putting there, and just kind of casual rounds? Or do you typically do the kind of like, okay, last tournament's in October, I'm just not going to touch a disc for the next month or 2 months or whatever?
No, I still play. I still do stuff. Like I don't really see how people can just like not touch it or do anything for a couple months.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just that's never been me. Like I enjoy playing, so I'm gonna go play.
Okay.
Whether I'm playing a pro tour event or gonna go play with like the homies, like we're gonna go throw frisbees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you go into the off season kind of thinking, okay, this past year I really noticed if my sidearm went 10 feet farther, I could have had X amount of birdies, and then work on that? Or are you kind of just like, my game is my game, I'm just going to keep working to get better at my game?
Yeah, I think you got to take a little time to reflect. It definitely like where we play comes into factor. It's not just like I think it's a little of both. Like for me, like the season's coming up, so now I'm starting to think about like Vegas. Last time I was there, Waco, Texas States, and kind of think towards those courses. So
Sure.
it's kind of fun to prepare and kind of mentally get ready to play in. But at the same time, I think you're always trying to improve and get better.
Yeah. Do you specifically mentioned those 3 tournaments? Do you kind of break the tour into chunks, or is it just you're kind of always looking at the next 3 events? So once you play Vegas, then that will kind of fall off of that list that you're looking towards, and then whatever would be next, Jonesboro maybe, will get kind of added.
Yeah. I think like for me, it's like all the way till what DDO, or I'm sorry, Dynamic Disc Open.
Hey,
Thank you.
Is that what that stands for? Ben?
I believe so.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think like
the O stands for open.
yeah. Open. It feels like the season's pretty packed up till that point, and then it's kind of like calms down a little bit for a few weeks, and then it'll pick back up. So to me, like the first chunk is Vegas to Dynamic Disc Open.
And that's probably Vegas is what, like middle of February?
The end of February,
End of February?
I believe. Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically 2 months of not quite tournament every weekend, but
It
pretty
could be.
much.
It could
yeah.
be actually because of Silver Series that they've added in between stops.
Yeah.
It could actually be every weekend.
Gosh, that's a brutal way to start. You're just getting thrown to the wolves. It's not like
Yeah.
tournament, take a break, tournament, take kind of, the NFL has preseason or baseball has spring training or whatever.
Yeah.
Where disc golf is like, your spring training is the memorial.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you just finished this tournament. You could reflect and dwell on it, but guess what? You have to drive and go play here
Right.
now.
You could just do it all over again.
like bam, bam,
Similar
bam.
to basketball.
very similar.
Similar to basketball.
I mean, and similar to baseball during the season as well.
Baseball during the season is insane.
They're crazy. Like anybody, any sport or athletes that complain about schedule, it's like, hey, how about 162 games in like how many days? Like
260 days.
I was gonna guess like 170. I don't know.
And I think it was 2020 when they had the shortened season. They played. I forget what it was, but it was like
Was it
100.
80?
It was like 80 games in 100 days or something. And like
That's brutal.
that's nuts.
Yeah.
It is, and you have a choice, like to do it or to do something else. And so now you're here
There's
because
a third option. You do it and complain. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
That's true.
My bad.
I guess you're right.
My bad.
That's the comments section.
And
You
thank
got it.
all for
Let's leave
coming.
that. Let's leave that to the comments section. But you're here, not just like here right now physically, but like in Zach Melton is Zach Melton because he chose to do it. He chose to play a tournament one week, play another tournament the next week, and the next week, and the next week. So that takes some preparation. And so, like, what do you do in the off season to prepare for this like 8-month, 9-month stretch where that's what, like 36 weeks, and you're going to play probably 30 tournaments or so? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Probably close to that.
I mean, I know you had the knee surgery a little while ago.
Yeah.
and
We're pretty much a year removed from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And since then, you've posted on social media plenty about like your recovery techniques and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
Complaining.
Yeah.
Complaining about.
True.
I don't know. It seems
have to
that-
do this.
maybe it's just me, but like it seems like he's kind of grateful for his
smoke and
gadgets.
mirrors. His gadgets.
Yeah. They're cool. They're cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, that's a good
So
question.
yeah, like explain. Yeah. Dive into that. Like tell us a little bit about like some of the minutia, some of the like specifics in terms of your like recovery or your preparation. I mean, earlier we were talking about like putting practice routines as well. So yeah, go ahead.
yeah. I mean, as they say in Tennessee, I'm no spring chicken. You know what I mean? I'm just turned 34, so like anyone who isn't in their early 20s, I think, has realized like your body changes, like it recovers differently. So there's definitely something to that. Like when I first started playing disc golf in my early 20s, it was like I'd wake up, I'd go out and I'd play disc golf like 3-4 rounds a day, like all day. And
No stretching, just get out of the car and
Right,
go.
jump out of the car and just sling them, right? And then sun goes down, go play basketball for like 3-4 hours at night. Go to bed, sleep in, get up, repeat, and it was like no preparation at all. So now it's way different. If I jump out of a car and just go throw off hole 1 Maple Hill, one, my disc is going in the pond, and two, I think I just ripped a hammy.
right.
So
you're tumbling
yeah.
down the hill, and that's
and
it.
then it's
You're
like,
done.
I'm out. Jeff, need that entry fee back.
Help.
help. Sorry, Danny. So yeah, it's definitely different. There's a lot of prep to the tournaments and to playing, like, whether it's icing after playing. I have these leg sleeves called Air Relax, which like basically just uses like air for like therapy. It like squeezes the muscles and relaxes and squeezes. I use those. I have a TENS unit for my knee that I pretty much used all last year. Anthony, you don't know what a TENS unit is?
I do not.
Little pads with the cord, and then it shocks you. Like,
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
TENS unit, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll call them like stim units. It's like
Also, yeah.
Okay.
electric stimulation.
Yeah.
And does that just help kind of relax the muscles, or
There,
what does
there
that
are
do?
different settings on it, but yeah, one of them is like just to work the muscle and kind of relax it and like use it, and then it's
It has to do with like circulation as well. Kind of like enhances
Yeah.
the circulation. That's
what the Air Relax is good for too. It's
Yeah.
just gets the blood flow in the legs, and blood flows
Sure.
and muscles recover quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
So
interesting.
yeah, just a lot of prep, a lot of stuff like to get ready for and then recover afterwards, and that's just what I have to do. I'm 34 years old. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I have Lyme disease. Like it's just you have to. It's stuff I have to do. Like AJ's talking about. Like I choose to do this, so this comes with it, and just got to roll with it.
Yeah, you kind of have to mold your life around that passion that you have, because when you don't, and that passion is kind of taken away from you, then that affects your spirit and your your passion to then do other things, because life just keeps going forward. Like if you neglect some of those, that lifestyle and those requirements, you can't neglect that. So, I mean, I praise you for taking those steps and for kind of slowing down and preparing more and more. What it kind of makes me think of is like there's the saying like that that's a young man's game, and the disc golf has kind of been trending towards that young man's game. We see some of the most successful players are 16, 17 years old, like Cole Redolin comes to mind. I mean, Kyle Klein is
Gannon Burr,
yes, Gannon,
who is 16, I believe.
yeah.
I think like this might be the first year he can drive himself to a tournament. Like that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows who he is and has for last several years.
Right.
Yeah. And yet, the number one ranked player in the world and potentially the greatest player of all time in our sport are both. I mean, I think
Not potentially. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just not the greatest.
No, like I'm saying he definitely is.
Also, even if you were saying that it's not Paul, the only other person that's ever brought up is Ken, and it's not like Ken won his world championships when he was a teenager.
A spring chicken.
Right.
Correct.
So what I'm getting at is that sure, it's a young man's game to just, it's cool when you can just hop out of the car or just practice all day every day and be just fine. But yet the older men in the sport and the older women in the sport get results and they finish on the podium. So what's up with that? What do you guys think? What's the difference between the young man's game and the old man's game? I mean,
Experience.
Experience.
Yeah, for sure. Been there, done that. You learn from mistakes.
Right.
Yeah, I think there was a couple of weeks ago, Logan Harpool is a team guy from Wichita, and he was in town, so I sat down with him and Chris Clemens, and we were talking about this because last year was the first time that Logan, he did like a 2 or 3 month tour, and it was kind of his first time out there, and this kind of conversation came up, and I think there's something to be said about not having experience, kind of not knowing what to be scared of, right? Where if it's your first time on tour and you're Kyle Klein, then like, yeah, it's cool that you're playing with Paul or Ricky or whatever, but like, you're not really intimidated by that, or you're not scared by this 30-foot death putt at De La or whatever. But then I think that kind of has a shelf life. That kind of wears off, and that's when the experience really kind of takes it to another level.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of both. Like you do notice the young guys kind of have no fear.
Yep.
They don't have the memories of like, oh,
Right.
this could go bad, right?
Right. They haven't been
don't
at
care.
that stage of like, this is a putt on hole 18. If I make this, I win. You're at, say you go long on 18 at Waco and you're putting back towards the water. You have a 1-stroke lead. Make this, I win. And you airmail it into the water. And now you just lost a pro tour.
Yeah.
And I think that's something where we've seen a couple times with Eagle, where he's kind of let his frustrations out, and you can tell that he's frustrated because, like Portland Open, he lost the tournament because of a mistake that he made. And now we see where Eagle is at versus, I think that's kind of the difference between an Eagle now and a Gannon Burr now, where obviously Eagle has a couple years on him, but he's got those years of experience, where Gannon has the potential in a couple of years to be Eagle now. And I don't think that that's much of a stretch to say that he could easily be like a 1040, 1050 player.
No, it's not. He's extremely talented. It's just like
He
what
might
is
already be 1040.
like he's got the skill. Yeah, he might be. I don't know. Has anyone checked the update this month? Like, I don't know. But yeah, there's got to be a combo of fearlessness and also like that knowledge of like knowing situations and knowing what's best for you. Like there's a difference between like, okay, you brought up Cole, right? First of all, if you've met him, like super nice kid, awesome, very talented disc golfer. And I believe it was USDGC last year at Winthrop. He made a post like, I'm going, balls to the wall. I'm attacking. I'm going to attack Winthrop. Most of us know like you can't do that on the entire course. You kind of need to pick and choose your spots. And I looked at his scores. First round, he had a tough go, and I'm not knocking him. Like, it's a hard course and it's pretty much gotten everyone at some point.
Right.
Paul McBeth, I in my opinion, is the greatest disc golfer of all time. it took him a long time to learn how to play Winthrop, if I'm not mistaken. It
Ricky
took a while.
still has not won.
There you go.
The number one player in the sport
There you go.
hasn't won it yet.
Yeah, so like he learned though, if you look at his scores got better. I think he learned, okay, maybe I shouldn't try to go for 18 under, which
Right.
no one does out there,
Right.
like so that's cool to see. Like there's a combo to it. And that's I think Cole in the future will take his first trip to Winthrop and he will learn from it,
Yeah, him and I've talked with him briefly, but then his buddy who's on Team DD, Ty Love,
Ty.
He was 16. He may still be 16. He might be 17.
He might be 14.
He might be 14.
Yeah.
He
could
may have
even
aged
be-
backwards.
Shoot, no, you guys,
15.
said them.
Oh
all.
yeah, sorry. go
15
ahead.
is the number you're thinking of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the two of them are like, it's wild. I haven't spoken with Gannon much, and I would assume he's in the same vein of like, they're 16 years old, but if I didn't know that, if I was just talking to them, I would have thought they were 20, 24 years old of like,
Yeah.
these kids are good
And mature.
and they're smart. Yeah, they're mature for their age. And it's just like, and I think that's kind of where the young man's game thing comes in of like, okay, if you played up against Ty, he might outthrow you by 40 feet.
400. I thought you were going to say 400, but
But
thank you.
it might be 400
Thank you.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Appreciate that.
if you, I'm looking out for you, Zach.
Like you said, a year removed from the knee surgery.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah. I pretty much
you're doing it.
after being a year from it and reflecting after the season, I think I came back too quick. Not necessarily
really?
that I wasn't healed, but I just probably shouldn't have started competing against the best that early. But I wanted to be out there so bad. AJ, you understand that. Like you want to go, you want to
Yeah.
be there, and so I kind of played through. I think like some recovery towards the end of it, where I probably should have still been home.
Yeah.
And I probably think it did a little worse for me at times, like mentally. I think that's one thing people don't think about with injuries. They just think of it as physical, like, okay, you sprained your ankle, you hurt your knee, like you've got to recover your back. But mentally dealing with an injury, I think is worse than the physical part, because you have to
Right.
fight those demons, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Like that was probably worse than the physical last year. Once I got back and I knew I could trust it and I could throw, but like still building the strength and working on trusting it and like fighting the mental battles of trying not to compare and trying not to think about what I used to be able to do or could do or what I think I should do. And it's crazy. It really is.
And also looking at everybody around you and trying to keep up and then also staying within yourself as well. I know that's what usually got me as well, is like I remember, I think it was 2020 Vegas, like after the first off season after I initially injured my wrist, and I had a good first round. I felt good. Like I was focused on myself and what I was doing. And I put myself like maybe top 30 or so. And then that second round started off all right within myself. And by the back nine, I was like, I think Chris Clemens was on the card, and I was like, I just wanted to keep up with him and just play alongside him. And I got outside of myself, and and then I got frustrated because I can't control what other people are doing. I can only really control myself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's odd. Like what we're talking. 'Cause like when you go play disc golf, you go play a tournament, you play a pro tour, like there's always comparing, there's always seeing the stand, where everyone's standing. But at the end of the day, it's only you. And it's only you in the course. And like after your round's over, yes, there, you see where scores stack. But like if you trying to play with blinders, even though like obviously you can't go play and not talk to anyone, not watch shots or whatever, but like trying to, like you said, stay within yourself and focus on that and not compare. Like I feel like the comparing is really only relevant afterwards. But it's so hard not to with live scoring, and you have 3 card mates and like, yeah, dude, you play with birdies the first 7 holes, you're like, I got to keep up, and then, and honestly, it doesn't matter. He could bogey out from there, but we're always comparing and like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. And the hard part is, you'll see that somebody starts 7 for 7, and if you're 3 through 7 and you think, okay, I really got to push, then you end up bogeying the next hole, and now it's like, well, now I'm 2 through 8 and I need to get even more back. And
Yeah.
you start pushing, and that's how things can completely fall
Yeah,
apart.
maybe you like have a game plan and you decide, no, I got to keep up, and you go for like an eagle on instead of a birdie or do something more aggressive, and then it backfires.
Right. Yeah. It's a really interesting aspect of disc golf and golf as a whole is of that, like, people always say it's you against the course, but it really is. Of like, if you go out and you play the best Zach Melton can play disc golf and it's not enough, it's not like you didn't do something right. You did the best that you could, and someone else's best was just better
that day.
and that's
that
right.
round.
That's
And
just how it goes sometimes.
like no one's guarding us, you know, we're
Right.
not, yeah, it's just like, you know, it's we're competing against each other while not competing against each other, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think recognizing that and defining that is kind of one of the qualities of the old man game or the experienced player game. Because I think when we think of our younger selves or we look at other younger players, you know, we tend to see like some like kind of prideful actions. For example, you know, someone who's going to say, I'm going to be the hardest worker on tour. It's like, there's no way to control that. It sounds great. It sounds like, oh, the sponsor is probably like, yes, we want this guy because he's the hardest worker. We want this guy because he's the best putter. We
I
want
like
this.
that answer. Check. Yeah.
Right. And yet there's, you know, you could even say like Paul Macbeth, greatest disc golfer of all time. Actually, I just ran into this guy the other day in the forest who throws like the most amazing shots, technically sound. He makes every 100-foot putt, but he doesn't compete. And
Yeah,
yet,
he doesn't like tournaments, so he just casually play. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So then it's like, and I'm not, and it's not to say like completely reject those prideful beliefs or actions. Really I think the most successful path is to kind of blend the two and try to find the positives of those different, you know, those different aspects
sure.
and run with that stuff.
I can't help but tell this story. You bring up Cole and Ty, you know, young kids, but so at Worlds this year in Utah, I'm out practicing mulligans, the golf course, and there's water everywhere. And I believe it's hole 17 kind of plays towards the water. The water's on the right. And I'm telling you, I played that hole 3 times. I think like twice one day, another day. Every time I played that hole, Cole and his buddies in the water. Like all 5 of them, all in the water, shirts off, just swimming. What's up, guys? Look, someone threw it in again. You know, like they were in the water like the whole week of practice, I feel like, which is just so funny.
So they're not as good as we thought they were.
Yeah, and then someone in our group like
failed.
hit the rock on 18 and it like hopped back in the water and they're like, hold on, you know, they just like swim over. They're like, we're in here, let's go. Yeah. It's so funny.
We're already here.
We're here.
Already wet, man.
Yeah,
I'll just do this.
I'm like, you don't have to, you know, did you get your disc? No, I'll go back. We'll go back and look. Like, okay, cool. All right. Sweet.
We've got time.
So speaking of discs, Zach, in this off season, have you had the chance to? Thank you.
Great job.
Have you had the
Dude,
chance
nice segue.
to appreciate it? It's even better when you point it out too.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Sweet.
Guys, I'm gonna nail this segue. Watch this.
Yeah.
Oops, I just farted.
He's like texting Danny, like, check this out. Here it comes.
Bro, get ready. Hit super record. Have you had the chance to try out any new discs or revisit any old discs or anything like that? Anything changing in your bag?
Yeah, I've kind of bounced around with some different frisbees this offseason, pretty much since October, since like the tour kind of wrapped up. One disc in particular, I'm loving the Kristen Tatar Grace with the wolf stamp.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing bombs.
And it's more overstable than I thought.
It's a little more overstable than like people. I think they threw the first run Grace, which was understable.
A little bit. It wasn't like
Not like dumb
super
flippy, but like
yeah.
if you got a little power on it, you could flip it up and turn it.
Yep.
It has a little extra stability, and I'm loving it for forehands. Backhand,
Really?
it's kind of like a max distance disc, but forehand, like you can pretty much hit it flat, and it just cruises, dude. It just goes so far.
Yeah.
Super sick, super smooth.
really good. And it's I forget what speed it is, but it
I mean, I think the Grace is an 11,
that's what I thought.
but
Somewhere
it
in that
flies
range.
way further than most 11
Yeah,
speeds.
It's an
Like,
11 speed, but it's got 6 glide.
I
Yeah.
forgot Danny was here. Wow. I was like,
Sorry, I'm just a spirit.
Is that my inner thoughts?
yeah, so really impressed with that disc. Decided to give a lot of the Tour Series disc a try. In particular, the Johnny McRae Gold X Fuse.
Yeah.
Really sick. I compare it. I think it's like the mid-range version of the Lucid X Maverick.
Yep.
It's dope.
Yeah.
Like it actually kicked that OG EMAC out of my bag, like the flippy one.
The tie-dye one?
Yeah, the one that no one will look for. Yeah, like I've almost lost like 43 times. That thing's like a one of one, and I've always said like if I lose this, like I'm kind of going to be screwed because I've never thrown another.
Probably just call it quits.
Yeah, probably quit. So I just took it out, so I didn't have to, control my
Tough to lose
situation
it at
there.
that point, yeah.
I can't quit if I, it's not in the bag to lose.
Right.
That mid is really nice. And then the Kristen Tatar Pure, the Gold X Pure. Have you guys thrown it? Wow.
I've thrown the Pure. I haven't thrown those ones
They-
specifically.
so I've been told like some of the Opto X Pures are kind of like slightly overstable, like which is kind of cool for a Pure. The Gold X is like the straightest putter I've ever thrown,
Really?
with the exception to the Warden. It's very similar to the Warden, but I think the Pure is faster and it goes further.
Yeah.
Warden.
The Pure goes very far for a mid-range. Shout out to the Warden, by the way.
Putter.
It's a putter.
It's a putter.
Yeah, they're
I would like
it's
to
putt
try
and
What did I say?
approach.
It's you
Putt and
said for
approach.
mid range.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It goes very far, almost as, not as
Yeah.
far as a mid-range, but kind of in
That's
that.
just how far it goes.
Yeah, I the Pure, her Pure is like if you throw it flat, it's just dead straight with pretty much no fade. You
Yeah.
can turn it, smooth turnover. You can hyzer it, it'll hold hyzer. It's kind of like a nice do everything frisbee, which those are like my favorites. Like you could just control what it does,
Right.
But
Do you think that all of those are going to make the bag, or are they kind of still in the testing phase?
the Fuse I think is definitely in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've like gathered like 3 or 4 of them. I got backups. I like them. It's just a nice compliment for the understable mid.
Yeah.
Straight to understable. The Pure I don't know. Like I really like it. It's fun to throw, but I also have like straight judges.
Right.
So it's like, do I need it? Do I just want to bag it? And what was the other one? Oh, the Grace.
Grace.
I think the Grace will make it.
Yeah.
It took me a while to figure it out backhand. Kind of like I would either like put a little too much turn, it like can't handle it, but it's kind of like a nice hyzer flip, go far disc backhand, but sidearm it's where I like it. It's super smooth.
Do you think that's going to replace something in your bag, or is it just kind of adding a shot?
I think it might be adding a shot because I just throw it flat. Like there's no angle play with it forehand, and it's just I throw it flat and it goes really straight and goes far. Can mess with the angle a little bit, but it's just really straight. Whereas like I have Raiders that I hyzer flip sidearm or like flat, and then they hold like long smooth turnovers. So it's definitely a different flight, different stability. And then I have overstable Raiders that I forehand. So it's kind of feels like a nice spot in between.
Yeah. You're saying it feels like a nice spot in between, but like the feel of that disc it just feels different to me. I don't know if it's the royal plastic or what, but it doesn't feel like when you grab a disc like the Ballista Pro, you feel that thing. It's got a huge rim, and you just know like, okay, this thing's going to go far.
Right.
Where the Grace, it feels almost like a control driver, or like a little bit faster than a fairway. And then I'll throw it, and it's as far as my Raiders.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, this is kind of sick.
It surprises you.
Yes.
Over and over. Like your first 15 throws, you're going to be like, wow, okay. Didn't really, especially the first couple, you don't see it coming. You're like,
Right.
yeah, it feels pretty good.
Yeah, that had to be
Driver.
a fluke.
Yeah, you throw it, it's like, whoa, okay.
Very cool.
Well, that looks like it came out of my hand.
Wow, it's still
As it's
but
flying.
it's still flying.
But it's
There's
still
no
going.
way I threw that. It's like 400 feet away. It's still moving.
Is it just like a good wind gust or
Anybody
what?
see my Grace? Yeah, it's up
Bye.
ahead.
30 more feet, AJ. Come on now. So, Danny, we're gonna jump back to you here to the booth, we'll call it.
Okay.
With you've got a couple of disc golf haikus for us.
I do, yeah. I thought it would be fun as definitely like an off-season topic, if you know what I mean. Not a lot going on, and so I was feeling creative the other day, and I decided to write some haikus, and I'd like some feedback on them. We might be able to change them, mix them up, and then at the end we can turn it over to the community and see what the community has for us. So send us your haikus about disc golf on Facebook or on Discord or wherever. But I thought I would read a few of them to y'all. Sound good?
Please.
Okay. The first one is called Insanity. All right. Disc golfing is hard. I am sad I hit a branch. Let's do that again. Do you see? It's called
That's great.
Insanity because it's like doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
But like you hit the branch and then you're sad, but then you want to do it again because it was fun.
I like it.
brings up. I feel like everybody's like bad memories. Wow, you know.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I like it because
Okay.
we do it over and over and over and over.
It's true.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
I try to miss the branches.
Is that what I'm doing wrong?
I actually aim at them because like I'm never gonna hit it.
Right. That's the one time I've done that. I don't know, a few times of like, all right, if I aim at that tree and then miss either side, this is going to be perfect. Those are always the times where you throw it exactly how you mean
How
to.
does
You
it
threw it
feel to
perfect.
like be like,
That's
oh
a perfect
yeah,
shot.
I did
Terrible
so
result.
well, and now I hit a tree.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a great way to set up like a negative feedback loop in your head.
It sucks because it's like, dang it, I hit a tree, but also it's like, hey, that thing I was aiming at 300 feet away, I just hit it, and it's like a foot wide. So
If it was a basket, you would have aced it for sure.
right, that's a perfect shot.
Easy.
Those are the shots usually that make me laugh the hardest because I'm like, you know, I'm gonna like pick a tree, I'm gonna aim at it, and like I know like I'm throwing my flippy radar, so I'm trying to go like highs or right at it. It's gonna pop up, drift. It's gonna be great. And then like when you actually hit it, you're like, well, I'm an idiot because that was perfect.
If I just aim at the gap,
Sick.
this is perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all part of the learning process.
Okay, are we ready for another one?
Yes.
All right, this one is called Sadness. Also, they're a bit of a negative tone, but okay. Anyways,
Wah.
a still peaceful pond, surface has but one ripple. That's my favorite disc.
That was your favorite disc.
That's true. It still is. It's
Well, it
just
still
in
is.
the water.
It's just
Still
over
is.
there.
Yeah. It's just not his anymore.
Somebody needs to hit up Cole and get him out here.
I just imagine that like the scene is just this: the sun is setting behind this water, and it's just got this one little ripple in it, and it's so peaceful. And then from like across the pond, you hear, "Oh man!" Like
Probably hear something else.
Somebody did that. Somebody posted a video. I forget where. It might have been either. I think it was like somebody sent it into the squad or in the squad Facebook group, and it was just like, I was trying to film a form check. Somebody else wasn't having it, and like it's just this video of a guy throwing, and he throws, and then from like across the course, you hear a word that I can't say, just shout. It was so funny.
there's a course in Little Rock. It's called Reservoir, and it is the most wooded course I've ever seen. It's like the person walked down the fairways with their arms outstretched, and those are the fairways, and they missed some trees. Like there's just so many trees, and if you just go sit out there for like an hour, you'll hear just the dang it, like so much just echoing through the whole area.
Like that.
It's so funny.
You should play a game of like you go and sit in the middle of the course, and then pick the direction of like which way is it coming from next.
Yeah.
Try to guess.
All right.
Okay,
got
next
more?
one. All right, I've got two more. Okay, this one is called Happiness because I noticed they were all sad.
Yeah.
So
Here you go.
this one
Cheers
tries
up.
to be happy. It is also not as good as the other one. So this one's kind of mediocre. Okay, disc golf is the best, mostly when you hit an ace. Birdies are fun too.
Oh,
It's
All
I
accurate.
like that one.
just
all true.
positivity. It's
All
not
true.
very artistic though. I feel like I could make it better.
You could.
Can you say
Yeah, what the heck, man? You could have made that way better.
Can you say it again?
You can make it better.
Disc golf is the best, mostly when you hit an ace. Birdies are fun too.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely it's simple,
It's a haiku, but it's
Yeah.
like
Dang,
not much
roasted.
beyond that.
right? There's not as much like it doesn't really make the reader like investigate
Yeah.
much.
Like the one before it about the pond has like the twist.
There you go.
That's
yeah.
that's my M.
Right.
Night Shyamalan.
And that one's artistic. It's
part of
painting
it.
a picture of this clear pond.
Yeah.
Artistic
One little
AF.
ripple.
No.
Bro, that's artistic AF. Okay, last one. It's called Burning Question. Ricky Wysocki. He throws far and putts real good. Can he throw in heels?
Yes.
I don't know.
I've never seen it.
I say yes.
I don't buy it.
What size are the heels?
A little bit bigger than for me.
Then no.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
But anyways, those are the haikus that I have. If
Nice.
you want to write some haikus and send them into the podcast, we will read them on air, whether they are happy or sad.
Hopefully happy.
Yeah.
Or sad.
Or sad.
I mean, if you're just feeling sad that day,
Or
you're
just,
gonna
like,
you're probably gonna write
melancholy.
a sad one.
You
okay.
can write sad ones.
I was apparently sad when I wrote these, so I didn't even realize.
Must have been after like a bad round or something.
Was this after Anthony beat you recently? First two came out? Sorry.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
That's
Possibly
actually
for the first time ever. Yes.
That's a
Ever?
fantastic
First
segue,
time?
actually. What Zach's
Nice.
referring to is the sabotage round that we filmed a while ago.
We filmed it last week. I don't think it's out. As of this episode coming out, I don't think it will be out yet,
Okay.
Don't spoil it.
but it will be out
Don't
soon.
spoil
You
it.
already did, man.
Yeah,
Did
Zach,
you
don't
really?
spoil it.
You did.
You just confirmed it. I took a guess.
You did.
Oh.
Wow.
We filmed 3, so.
I didn't confirm it. I put together the facts. Danny, really sad. Like, lost a disc.
Do you,
AJ's over here still counting
AJ's
the
like
syllables.
counting like what happened.
so the concept of the sabotage round is each of us had different ways that we could sabotage our opponent, and we had 6 chances to use them throughout the round.
6.
I'm trying to pull up what they are, but they were things like forehand only for the whole hole, like you had to throw your tee shot, your approach, even your putts forehand only. There was blind shot where you had to throw or close your eyes while you threw your tee shot.
We had one after you, Zach. It was called Twice or It's Luck, where
Oh, you
if
had to
you
do
throw
it
a
twice?
you throw a good tee shot,
I love that.
I can play my Twice or It's Luck
Yeah.
card, and now I get your tee shot, and you have to throw again.
Sweet.
So it was a kind of a fun way
Sweet.
to add like strategy to it because you wanted to decide whether you wanted to use them on like gimme birdie holes to make sure they get a par and just get 1 stroke, or do you want to use them on a really hard hole and hopefully get a few more strokes or something like that. But we're working on different ideas. But I wanted to see, Zach, if you had any ideas of ways that you would sabotage your opponent during a round like this. There were some like gentlemen's agreements. Like you're not gonna use Mando roller was one of them, whether it's forehand
Okay.
or backhand.
Well, that's boring.
You're not gonna do that off like a water hole. It's
Yep.
just you can't play it on a water hole. Or one of my favorites is kick it. Wherever your opponent's tee shot lands, like he thought he got away with one off the tee or whatever, like you forgot to play your card, and then you're halfway down the fairway, and you're like, no, I'm gonna play kick it, and you just get to punt their disc wherever you want to.
Right, if they're like at the edge of some rough or something, just, I'm going to kick it. Boom, now you're 15 feet in the rough. Good luck.
Yeah, you don't get to like pick up the disc and drop it, but just from where it is, just flick it with your foot.
I've got a good one.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. You should, like, one of the options or whatever is like a scream. A well-timed scream.
I was thinking, because you always do that. Like right as somebody's about to throw, hey, wait.
So I did we filmed a Ripped Revenge round with me, Calvin, and Chris.
Okay.
And
Sounds awful.
I hit Chris like mid backswing on this super tight tunnel hole. Bro, like grip lock, third tree. No. He's so mad. I'm like, he's so mad. Just like I hit him with the like high pitched, like really loud scream. Like he's like here. Just it is like so loud, just yank.
Is this
like,
on video somewhere where we can watch it, or you
yes.
guys are just playing for fun?
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube. It's on
Where?
YouTube. Our local store, Throw More Disc Golf store, put it on their channel. They filmed it.
Okay.
He just kept the camera rolling and got like everything in between. So he had to do like I think 2 parts. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a long video, but
Okay.
it's really good. And
Worth
like
it.
spoiler, there's another good one, like a second tunnel hole later in the round. Chris throws and basically parks the hole, like downhill 280-foot tunnel shot.
Mm-hmm.
I get on the tee, turn around, and just chuck my disc into the rough, the wrong direction, like 100 feet, and played a swap lies card.
Chris, you got to have this one.
Yeah. Like the look on his face when he realizes he had already played like his like nope or whatever card before. I knew he didn't have it. I was waiting. And I was
Yeah.
like, he's dead.
Yeah, when we were playing, we came up with one of
He
like
was so mad.
you get to do that where you throw your tee shots, and then if there's like a long and a short pin, and like if Danny parks the long one and I park the short one, I could just I'm gonna switch baskets. So we're playing the short one now. So birdie for me,
I like
long
that.
putt for you.
Because you may like do that on accident, not even mean to. And it's like, well, I'll use this.
Right.
Yeah.
That's actually what I meant.
Sucks to suck.
Right.
But yeah, I like the scream, the yell,
good.
whatever.
Just yell.
Yeah, just like one time, like in a throw, like, you got to time it good too. You hit him too early, he can stop.
Right, and you don't want to do it too early in the round either, because then
You may need it late.
Right.
You never know.
and they'll be thinking about it the whole time of like, okay, we're on hole 7, he hasn't done it yet. We're on hole 8,
Yeah.
he hasn't done it yet. We're getting out of holes. When's he gonna do?
Or maybe if there's like a water hole, you're like, well, you know what? I'll make him lose his disc
Oh
and
my
just
gosh,
replace
the
it.
mind games you could play as someone is like picking their disc and they're kind of going through their warm up, and you're just just getting your throat ready.
Yeah.
And
You're like
warmed
getting your
up.
disc out. I'm like, Anthony, I'm not going to scream
Right.
in this hole.
Take a sip of water and then
Promise.
hold on. Hang on a second.
Promise.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I won't do it.
that would be hilarious. We should add that one, Danny.
If you do it though, you got to commit like full on screen.
It's
Go
like,
for it.
it's the only
Not
so
like
far-
don't scare him. No.
Ah.
I'm talking about scream.
Say it with your chest, basically.
Say it with your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like sucks to suck too. It's like if you just lost a stroke, sucks to suck. Play the card.
Give him a card like
Extra stroke.
like here. Would you read this? Or like sucks to suck. Boom, got it.
Yep.
Bogey.
Yeah.
Sure got him. I like that because it's like the only card that's like you do the thing first and then you play the card. Because most of them, like, as somebody's going to tee off, then you play the card and they have to do the thing. Or sometimes it'll be like right before you throw. But this is like
It might be a putt. But like
It might be.
last hole's like, bro, Danny's got a putt to win.
You got to use it.
Still got this.
gosh, I could have used that.
Got it in my pocket, so to speak. You know what I mean?
No spoilers though.
Sorry.
No spoilers.
So send us in any ideas. Well, actually, probably wait till the video comes out so you can get a better idea of what the round looks like. And
Yeah.
then, because it's not just Ripped Revenge, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah, to my knowledge, it's mostly a unique idea, not like completely, but it's a unique application of it anyway. So send us in ideas that you have for Sabotage cards.
Please. So, Zach, this was something that came up. It came up on this week's regular episode that Eric McCabe said, and I took great issue with it.
Okay.
Eric McCabe said that 1050 golf stinks.
I heard this last night while we were driving in.
Okay.
Yeah,
So then
yeah.
you're at least aware of the
I'm
situation.
aware.
He didn't verbatim say 1050 golf stinks, but he basically said 1050 golf stinks. So I want your opinion on this. Would you, if you were
Out of context.
I heard the conversation. I think what he's trying to say, I could understand it, but also your rebuttal is like it is true, like what you were saying, like it's never bad. But
So,
I
what
get,
would you rather then? Would you
I
rather
get what he
be-
was saying though.
Would you rather shoot 1070 one weekend and win a pro tour, and then shoot what would it be 1030 and come in 14th the next weekend, or would you rather every single time you step on a disc golf course, no matter where you are, no matter what, you shoot a round that is rated 1050, and it's the way that the game is going, it's probably not good enough to win probably any Elite Series this season.
First one, easy.
Really?
Yeah, for sure, easy. You're still going to average out like what, just below 1050, and then
Well,
you're going to get a win every now and then.
So that the average is the same, whatever the math would have to be
Right.
for that.
Yeah, first one.
So you also say that 1050 golf
It's,
stinks.
it's kind of like
I mean, that's
a
basically what I just said.
It's a ceiling versus floor kind of thing, right?
That's what
Like
I
you
just
have in the first option, I guess, you have a higher ceiling but also a lower floor.
Right.
So it's not as consistent. That would be really frustrating. Because what if you shoot like 1070 and then you're winning by like 2 strokes, and then the second round, that's when you shoot like your 10, I guess it'd be like 1030 round, and like lose? That would be so frustrating.
What would the trade-off have to be if you won every other event, and then every event that you don't win? Where would you have to finish for that to not be worth it?
just below the cash line.
Last
Or the
place.
cut line.
But I almost feel like
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Anywhere between what we just
You
said.
can't cash. And that's the thing.
Would
that's
that
the
be
thing
enough?
about these guys that say like, oh yeah, it's either first place or nothing for me. It's like, well, but it's like first place or 10th place, and 10th place consistently is really good.
Yeah.
So it's like, but in this scenario, if it was first place or quite literally last place, that would be tough to swallow. That'd be
Also,
tough to deal with.
I'd like to see the stats also, because I think for the most part, 1050 doesn't win, but I think it depends on the course.
I think
Because I bet there are some events where I bet averaging right at 10 in the 1050s, I bet that does compete for a win. I'm not saying
Right.
someone won with 10, but I bet it's there.
sure.
Some courses, like the
I'm
one
sure.
that comes to mind is Delaware.
Yeah.
It's difficult. Lots of trees. Like people aren't shooting 1080s.
Right. So it's interesting that if I told you, all right, Zach, you're going to go on tour this year, play every single major, Elite Series, whatever, Pro Tours, Silver Series, all of them. You're not missing one. And you're going to win 50% of those. Mm-hmm. But the other 50%, you're going to come DFL, last place.
Yeah.
You wouldn't take that.
Oh, I'm in.
I was going to, so then,
Sounds like a blast. Such
Yeah.
a roller coaster. lows are gonna suck, but top of the
like
world.
think of what are the challenges? What are the challenges to that scenario?
Not wanting to punch yourself in the face, coming in dead last after
would-
winning a tournament. Just,
You would just know that like it doesn't matter because next weekend, first place. Easy
oh,
win.
so you know? I thought it would just happen. You know,
Where is the line though? If you won a quarter of them but came dead last in 3/4 of them, would you take it? Or what about like 80-20 or?
And see, this is like, I mean, I think all the aware players that go on tour, this is how they think. They think, okay, another weekend, I know I can win, and yet I know that I could finish in last place. And yet they still continue to show up,
Yeah,
right?
that's
I mean,
probably not true.
What do you mean?
When do you think the last time was that Paul Macbeth walked into a tournament and said, "I might come in last"? I bet it's been many years.
I don't think.
I think that's what makes him great is his awareness of reality.
The fact that he will not be coming in last.
It's possible to finish in last place on every tournament. You could be leading. You could play a 4-round tournament, be leading wire to wire for 70 holes, and still finish dead last. It's possible.
question.
I thought
or
you were gonna say-
statement.
I thought you were gonna say you've done
obviously
it.
it's not
Statement.
probable.
Statement.
It's improbable.
The year that Nate Doss won GMC, Paul dropped out, shoulder injury, dead
Okay,
last.
that doesn't count.
Up top.
I was letting
He's so
AJ
mad.
finish.
He's so mad. He's so mad.
I can tell. I've known Anthony
Look
a
at
long
him.
time. This is what he looks like when he's mad.
Hold on. Wait, Zach, did you have something to say?
He's so mad.
Ha ha.
Okay, yeah, that worked. Okay,
Not mad when I control the sound.
the headphones do work. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I just took an interesting like mental turn.
Got
into,
him.
Like the
Sorry.
Zen's part of it. It's like you have to accept that. You have to accept the risk of finishing in last place. You also have to believe in yourself that you'll win every tournament. I think that the lack of that or the narrow-mindedness that we see in the immature players, whether they're 16 years old or 36 years old, but that immaturity is what ends up leading to failure. But having the open mind, knowing both, like being aware of the failure and yet also believing in your potential, full potential at any given moment, that's just what leads to success. So I don't know. I guess I'm just like thinking, why the heck are we talking about this crazy hypothetical situation of this roller coaster player? And then I dove into it and I'm like, okay, well,
Now he can't get out. There's no ladder out
Right.
of that pool.
We've lost him.
yeah.
You're just
He's
you're
gone
just
for good.
swimming for your life.
Right. Because I think, and I said, like, that's like, what's the challenge to that? What's the challenge to going first, last, week in and week out? That would be like, you'd have to be just so mentally resilient.
Sounds like a party.
Right.
You got a good attitude. You're built for it. That's like, I think you would be good at it because you'd be like, oh, what? Oh, the comment section says I'm a fluke because I'm going first place to last place. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll see you.
Catch you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you. Are you signed up for the tournament? Oh, that's right. No, I'm signed up for the tournament. I don't know. That's one of the biggest lessons that I learned is like, in order to set aside the doubt, whether it's in your mind or anywhere else, you have to be able to see the positive. You have to be able to see the trust
Right.
in order to push the doubt aside.
Deep.
First run trust. Way better. Way better.
Way better. Yeah. Good thing we don't have a disc called Doubt. That's actually a new release this year from Anarchy Discs. Just all the worst names.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw. I don't know.
It's like it's coming from static discs as opposed to dynamic discs. All their discs do the exact same thing. That's what it is.
Their discs do not spin.
The speed numbers are like 7-2-0-0. Like that's all they do.
Is it just like the plastic lines are just like monotone?
Yeah.
All of the discs are gray and brown.
It's just
That's
different
it.
shades of beige.
Beautiful colors.
If they get a swirly one, they misprint it and like
Right, grind it up. All right, Zach. It's time for the world-renowned, famous, award-winning game show
Ooh.
called How Well Does Zach Melton know Zach Melton?
Uh-oh. Cool.
You
All
ready?
right. I think so.
We've got 5 questions about your disc golf career.
All right. To be fair, almost like every other time I do something good and everybody's like, high five, I'm like, what happened? I blacked out. So there's a chance I don't, But I'm game. I'm game.
Okay.
Short memory.
Yeah.
We will
Shoot or shoot.
we'll start with the furthest away happening.
Ooh,
So this will be one of the more difficult ones, potentially.
maybe.
What ratings update did you first hit 1,000 rated?
Wow. Do I have to give you the month?
Let's start with the year.
The month,
Okay.
month and year for full points, one or the other for 50% credit.
I want to say 2013 is the year. This is my guess because I know for a fact at the end of 2011 I was 998 or 999. I was very close, and then I went into 2012 thinking I'm about to be 1,000 rated. I'm really good, and then I chundered all year. Terrible mindset. Played poorly. Dropped my rating all the way down to like 980, I believe. 978, 980, something like that. Maybe 977. Trying to give myself a little window, and then I had to start grinding my way back up. So I'm going to guess 2013. I know for certain I was 1,000 rated in 2014, but I'm going to guess 2013 I made it back up. Maybe not.
Do you have a month that you'd like to guess?
I'm going to guess probably towards the end of the year because I had a lot of work to do after 2012. Let's go like October update 2013.
Okay, so before you, sorry, you
Mike's
probably
Asian.
couldn't hear me there for a sec. Before you tell him the answer, what's the point structure here? Is it like
Yeah, what's
if
up
he gets
here?
the?
This is a really hard question, by the way. Who like knows their ratings history?
This is not the hardest question.
Can we give him like?
Shoot.
Can we give him like 5 points if he guesses the year exactly correct, and then he loses a point if for every year that he's off, and then 10 points if he gets, or I guess maybe
How about-
Who else has
12
played this
points?
game? Am I like the first one?
No.
Well, you are because
Matty-
it's how well does Zach
Matty-O's
Melton know
played.
Zach Melton?
Kona has
So I'm
played.
the first one to play this.
Yeah.
I think you're the first one to play the Zach Melton.
Okay,
version.
cool.
Basically,
nice.
everyone that
Zach.
every special guest has.
How did they
played.
do? Can I ask that ahead of time? Put the pressure on me.
Most
do
people
well?
have done pretty well.
All right.
Nobody. Our final.
Matt had 37 points. Kona had.
The last question is by far the hardest.
Okay.
And I've been surprised by how close people's answers have been. Nobody has nailed it, but people have been very close. You, unfortunately, were not. You were close. You were not correct on this one.
So it was in 2014.
It was February 2014.
To be fair, though, the rounds were probably in 2013.
The rounds probably were in 2013. Yes.
That's also the 2013 is the year that I
Can't see
started
I'm
playing
pointing
disc
at
golf.
Danny.
So
Holla.
Hey,
Hey.
if you're
So
curious,
giving all that like story though, it's fair to say I knew what was happening.
You were yeah,
I
absolutely.
just missed the exact, but
right.
I
End
was in
end
the
of
ballpark.
2011, you were
Yeah.
999, 996, 996, and then it went down
Boom.
to
2012.
979 in
There you go,
October
79.
2012.
Yep.
And then at the end of 2013,
Started from the bottom. Now I'm here.
96, 95, 98. Then you hit 1,000, 1,001. You dip back down to 98,
Dipped right
98,
under for a sec,
99.
and then
You hit 1,001 in July of 2014, and you have not been below that since then.
that's cool. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Speaking
2014
of,
was a good year.
it was a good year for you. Speaking of your rating,
Okay.
what was your highest rated round ever?
Ooh.
What was it rated, and when was it?
Okay.
You have the opportunity for triple points because you actually have 2 rounds that were rated the same as your career highest rated round. So I will accept.
But I know my favorite one, and I know the one I think is best.
Okay.
It is Hawk Hollow Open.
Do you
That's
have a
in
year or a rating?
Spotsylvania, Virginia. Give me a second. I'm pretty sure that was in 2015. That should have been towards the end of the year when we played the tournament. And I think, unless it's bounced around a little bit, initially I think it was 1078. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 1078, 1077. I thought it would be 1080s because if you had played the course, you knew the course. The original course record was a 51. I shot a 50, but I shot a 50 on the first tournament on the redesigned where the course got like 3 strokes harder. So I broke it with a harder
Dang.
course. And if you like if you ask anybody that's played it, like the course designer, like perfect is probably 49, and like 48 would be like a bonus, like almost like not
Like you threw one in or
yeah,
something?
yeah.
Okay.
So I had a miss on the. I can walk you through that round. It was crazy. It's like one of my favorite courses of all time. But I shot a 50 Hawk Hollow, and I'm going to guess 1078.
Okay. I will give you the points for the rating. Your highest rated round is 1078. That round was a 1074.
Whoa, that dropped.
So
it
that-
was high 1070s at initially when we played the tournament, but
That's your third highest rated round ever. It's ironic. You have two. Your highest rated was 1078. You have two 1078s and then two 1074s.
okay.
The 1078s were at the 2019 Dark Side Championship. Does that sound
Oh,
familiar?
Yeah. Okay.
And then the other one,
46
a 46.
at Dark Side. Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's a 46.
And
Okay.
then the other one was a 56.
That was a 1 day C tier, right? That's why it kind of slipped my mind.
It was a C tier, yeah.
Yeah, they used to do. Sorry to interrupt you. They used to do like an A tier on the weekend. We'd play Sunnyside, Dark Side, like the blockhouse, and then they would do C tiers throughout the week. So that was like a 1 day C tier, like on a Wednesday or whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
That's like I remember. I have great memories of the Blockhouse. I
Dude,
think that's like one of the
so
first
awesome.
times we hung out and
Love that place.
stayed
Special
together,
place.
Yeah, I think
So-
was it you that like put your like we were playing basketball in the pool and you like got
Oh no
Weston in the eye?
that no Cody's thumb went in Weston's eye. Cody Bradshaw, Virginia pro, Weston Isaacs. We're playing basketball. It's like physical.
Yeah.
And Cody's thumb goes in Weston's eye. Cody's thumb pops, right? Like thumbs do, like a crack. Weston goes, my eye popped. Is it there? I'm like, bro, it's his thumb. What do you? He like thought his eye popped and was like running around the pool holding his eye. Dude, I forgot about that. That's so funny. Oh, we're good.
Okay, next
we're
one.
good. Okay, we're good. Check up.
Good old Weston. Oh, man.
That's terrifying.
Dude, I
Highest
forgot
rated
about
round-
that.
Highest
that's-
rated round on Dark Side. That's sick.
That was round 2, I believe.
You are correct.
Round 2. I came back to win off chase card.
Nice.
Lead card was pissed because no one thought anybody would shoot. Like, I think I had to make up a few strokes. Like, is my first round like a 51, 50?
Without scrolling, I wouldn't be able to
Sorry.
find it
Okay, don't worry
easily.
about it. But I had to come back for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other 1078 was round 1 2018 USDGC.
I thought ratings didn't count there.
Sick.
It doesn't count, but it was
I
given
shot
a
11
rating.
under.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget. I don't count Winthrop at all with ratings because like
Right.
they just don't
Right.
matter. But
that one wouldn't have applied to your actual player
You
rating.
had shot a 996 rated first round at Dark Side.
there you go.
And then
Okay.
1078 second round.
Was it a 53?
55.
55. Okay, one above. Okay.
So 9 strokes better.
They weren't happy.
Solid.
Shit, I might have been third card. I don't know, dude. They were like, they thought whoever shot hot on lead had won, and then
Yeah.
they
You were-
46, look. It's like, I'm sorry.
If you sort by round
to
one,
sort.
you were tied for fourth, it looks like. So probably
so
not
chase
third
card.
card.
Probably,
Chase
yeah. All right. Last ratings
Thank you, Danny.
related question.
Okay.
What event, again, I will take the event and the year, and I guess we'll take the rating. What event was the highest average for the entire event? So all your rounds averaged out. What was the highest average rating for you?
Ooh.
Again, I'll take the rating, the year, and or the event.
Man, I'm actually, I don't know if this is a trick question. I think it might
not
be
a
that.
trick question.
It's not. I'm just tricking myself because I was thinking that Hawk Hollow. I think it might be that Hawk Hollow Open. I'm leaning towards it. I'm thinking, but I'm like that course is one of my favorites of all time. I'd played it several years in a row, and that year, like I started with a 53 round 1, which was smoking it, and then on lead card second round I shot the 50. And what's really special about that round was John Bisco, who is the course owner, tournament director. He comes up to me, and this was 2015. He goes, "Hey Zach, I want you to meet this guy. His name's Gary Hutt. He is looking to do big things in the state of Virginia for disc golf. I want you to talk to him. You know, he's really nice." And I meet this guy. He's older looking guy. He's real nice and kind of soft spoken and shakes my hand. And him and his wife walked with us for 9 holes. Turns out that is the future owner of Lake Marshall Disc Golf, who has,
Cool.
I don't know if you've heard about it. It's going to be a Silver Series at the end of this year for next year. My favorite place of all time to play disc golf. Private property, giant man-made lake, 3 courses, woods, open, championship. Like, the place is nuts. And this is the guy who doesn't play disc golf. He just decided he loved disc golf and he wanted to build like a place. So that tournament is very special to me because like I met him and then shot that round. And then what's funny, I was actually talking about this with Jamie last night, Macy's husband, on the car ride. I shot a 56 round 3, which is my worst round. I finished with 5 4s in a row, which 3 of those were bogeys, and then the other were pars. And to shoot that 56, so like I don't know, that round, that tournament was crazy. So I'm going to guess that tournament. Could be wrong. It might be an elite series because, you know, I'm not saying inflated ratings are like what a lot of people think where, oh, I'll go play a pro tour. I'll be, you know, 10-20 rated, which isn't true, but they do tend to be a little better. But that's my final answer.
Okay.
We'll see.
Thank you for sharing because that's a really cool story.
Yeah. Sorry to ramble, but it's pretty cool, to look
Super
back
cool.
now.
Yeah.
It's a podcast. Literally, the point is to ramble.
Right. Also,
And also, I'm
Where'd he come from?
right here. You can ramble on. You can ramble
Thanks,
on.
AJ.
I'll,
Thanks, AJ. Up top.
the downside
I'll
I was
ramble
wrong.
with you.
I was
is
wrong.
you get 0 points.
That's fair.
You-
Oh, no, I know. It's Idlewild Open. Sorry.
Once again, 0 points.
Shoot, I tried. I mean, I did come in second there, so I thought it was it.
In Hawk Hollow, you averaged 1050, which is close, which is
Solid.
very close. The
Okay.
event was the 2017 Blue Ridge Open, and you averaged 1055. So you were close.
That's another course record that I forgot about.
You just got so many of them. It's just like, oh, sorry, guys.
Timber Ridge Open, Vince Worley designed the course, or is it tournament director Vince Worley? Does it say it up top? And Chris Dickerson was at that tournament?
Is this Blue Ridge Open?
Dickerson was at the event, yes.
Oh,
Dickerson
suck
was
it,
there,
Chris.
Tim
He was
Barr
so
is the
mad. Did I
tournament
beat Chris
director.
by like 1?
2.
2.
Okay.
I
Wait,
remember
no.
now. I
No,
remember
No, you got him by 1. Sorry.
Yeah, because you
1. I birdied the last hole to beat him.
he got you by 2 in round 1. You got him by 3 round 2.
I birdied the last hole to beat him.
Just in his face.
That was a fun day.
What year at Ledgestone did you get second?
No,
Idlewild.
Idlewild. Idlewild. I got
Idlewild,
second.
sorry.
I'm pretty sure that was 2018
I will look it up.
or 19. I think it's 18.
Okay.
It was 18.
It was 18.
Danny is on the case. This is our final question
Sorry.
to get yourself on the board
Okay.
because we're getting goosed right now.
Sorry, man.
can do
to be
it.
fair, I might have played way more tournaments than these people and just have so much to remember.
You have played a lot of events,
Yeah.
and that is going to come into question
Everywhere.
On this.
You've
Oh,
played
no.
way more tournaments than Matt Oram.
You only averaged
Southern
1038 at
Nationals
Idlewild.
count? Only 1030?
Yeah,
Did you hear how you
1038.
said that? Only 1038.
Yeah, that's bad golf these days,
Dude,
don't you know?
I'm not going to lie. I replay the end of that final round of Idlewild in my head a lot. A lot. Probably 100 times.
Yeah, you missed it by
That's not
4.
fun.
It was way closer than that, though, Danny. It was crazy.
Yeah,
Do you want me to take you through it?
sure.
All right. Let's fast forward final round to, what is it, hole 15? The hole that,
Is that the wide open
Is
bomber?
that the Kevin Jones hole?
that's the Kevin Jones hole.
Yep.
So that final round, Kevin's
Gosh,
struggling.
imagine having Kevin Jones' career, his
Yeah.
ace at Maple Hill,
Yeah.
and then having 15 at Idlewild.
Talk
be the
about a
Kevin
roller
Jones
coaster.
hole.
Like did you see the sign they put up last year? Said Kevin Jones hole.
Yeah.
He thought it was
The
funny.
KJ tree.
Yeah, the KJ tree. Some people are, oh, that's so messed up. Kevin's like, that's hilarious,
Yeah.
bro. Like
And then he pured it. He pured the gap.
He did.
That's all he needed.
So I threw that tee shot perfect final round. And like in the middle of the fairway, that's kind of like a little dirt patch where we'd had the storms 2 days before. It was mud. So I'm literally center cutting that mud. And I try to go standstill when I throw my foot slips and I yank the tee shot, hits in the gap, sits in the gap. Go up there, throw that up shot, hit the band. Almost threw it in with the sidearm harp, so I take a par. It was like legit
15's
thought
the
I was going to
one
birdie.
Way up the hill. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the next one's a 1,000-footer.
Yeah, wide open.
I was at the time throwing like a Heiser Enforcer. Let go of it, looks perfect, love it. Hits middle of the fairway, flare, and that thick grass. You know what I'm talking about? Thick green grass. Flare, roll, OB by like 3 inches. So I take my meter and I'm thinking, same thing I'm thinking if I'm in bounds, like going over the hill, getting down there, birdie look instead of eagle, but like just going to pump one.
You're trying to run the green from
Right.
which is a
just,
smash. but
Just
it's
try to
possible.
throw it hard and I turf it straight into the top
Oh,
of the hill
no.
right in front of me.
And that's one of those shots that, like, as soon as it's on the angle out of your hand, you know whether it's good.
And it was good, but it was like 4 feet too low.
really
Yeah, it was not. It was good, but it wasn't good. So then throw to the bottom. No, don't throw the second shot or the next shot. Great. It's kind of a weird position because I'm like, well, I know I can like throw.
Never
it
been
OB.
here before.
Well, yeah, and I know you can throw it OB from there. Like,
Right.
Don't throw it good. Miss the putt. Take a bogey.
Yeah.
And at this time, like people are going back and forth because Paul was on chase
Mm-hmm.
and James and I and Kevin and MJ were on lead and like Paul's starting to play good at the end and like people are going back and forth and the pace is slow. Obviously, you know, AJ, like it's slow. We're waiting. The next hole, 17, I believe I missed my line because it was one as a par 4 with all the creeks OB.
Yeah.
Hit, kick, throw a good up shot, trying to get up there for a birdie, look like short of the creek, and it just like barely just like slides down into the creek. And I made that putt for par. So par, and then 18, bad tee shot early right on top of the hill. Like, that's a hard lefty tee shot. Like, if you're trying to birdie the hole.
Yeah.
Like, when you really need to birdie, it's so hard. Like, I go flippy putter and hoping it crests the hill and then turns a little, because it's always going to hit and filter when it lands on that slope. And threw it bad, threw a good up shot, like, from a straddle on a knee, like, to the little kind of where it drops, and then got up and down. Or I think I was short of that. So I actually had to throw a shot, like pretty good one, through the trees to park it for par. And then James threw a great up and down and then hit like a circle's edge putt to tie me for second. But like, I go through that so much because like that could just change. So like the first 2 holes for sure, 15, 16, like are nightmares kind of, but it was still cool.
So
cool
like
to be there.
So why, so you, I mean, do those thoughts just like sometimes, I'm sorry to take away from the game real
We'll
quick.
get back. We'll get back.
No, it's fine.
But this is, I think this is like
fine.
a great,
It's fine.
Ramble
Hey,
on.
Zach, it's fine.
so like,
It's fine. AJ,
Anthony, AJ's talking. Hold on a second.
it's
Danny,
fine.
will you
fine.
tell him to hold on a second?
Should I mute myself?
Yeah, guys, real quick. It's fine.
I was like, that sounds so visual. What?
Hey, Danny, do you think you could let AJ and Zach know that it's fine? Please.
Yeah, hey,
Bro.
AJ and Zach, Anthony wants me to let y'all know that it's fine.
He totally got me with that one. I was like, oh God. What? I was,
okay, so do those thoughts, like, does it randomly pop into your head, like from time to time, like when you're lying in bed or driving or something, and
Both.
then, so it's kind of random. And then, I mean, do you acknowledge it and do you let the thought continue? Because you said like, oh, it starts on hole 15. Like, how often in that thought loop, that thought process how often does it get to hole 18? Does it like every single time, or do you know, or can you think of times when you've thought and then you get to like, you finish the putt on 15 and you're like, nope, I need to think about something else. I need to do something else right now. I do not want to think about that skip or that little slide into the creek. Does that ever happen?
no, I usually I go through it all. And sometimes I'll start it on the hole before because it's kind of cool. I threw a really good tee shot on the Y hole, KY hole.
Yeah.
Terrible up shot into the creek. And then I ended up putting twice because they weren't sure if bridge was in bounds or not. Oh. So I putted from like 50 and jam it.
Bang.
For the 4, and then I go up on the bridge and like tap in for the 4, and like ended up being the bridge was in bounds. So like, but they actually put, like Joe Mez told me, they put the jump putt in the edit because it looks better. But like, I mean, that was a cool moment. It was like a letdown on the upshot, but then a cool putt to keep the chance going.
Right.
Like, I wasn't thinking like, okay, I need to do this to win, but I was thinking like, keep executing, keep going after it. And so, I mean, that comes into play. Like, sometimes I'll start it there, but it's definitely those last 4. It's like, and I don't like quit. Like, I don't be like, no, this is too bad. It's like, I go through every shot and I think about it, and it's like everything could have been like that much different, and it could have been a different result. But like for sure, like second place alone instead of tying, but like
solo second.
And at the same time, it's like I don't think of it and like get upset. It's like you just reflect and you think about how things could have been different. But like you said, you accept it. It happened. But let's say you could go back in time. Like if I birdie 15, if I'd stay in bounds on 16, have an eagle, like there's no telling what Paul would have done, because I know Paul was checking scores too. And he was looking at it and was like, okay, I've got a stroke on them. Because me and Paul talked about it afterwards. Like, he was watching and he said, I saw Kevin on 15 and I knew he didn't have a chance. And like James kind of, because like I think I ended up going like par, bogey, par, par. And I think James might have made up a stroke on me or 2 in that stretch. I can't remember, but I know he had a harder time parring 18 than I did. Like, he had to hit a good putt and I parked it. But like, he was watching, and it just kind of, neither one of us like got a birdie or 2 that we needed to like really push it with Paul. Because I think we lost by 4, but that can, that can change a lot coming down the stretch.
That can make things a lot. One stroke, when you're down by 4, one stroke can make a bigger difference than 25%.
But that's a good. I always go through it all. Like, I think of it, because it's not like going through it and being sad. It's like, obviously it sucks, but at the same time, it's like,
wait a
you
minute,
reflect on it. And
how
I
did
was
you get to
there.
that position?
I was there. I had a chance, and like
Yes.
people forget that.
Right.
People remember who won, but like I think Matty O had a really good quote once. He was like, I was in
He has a
two
lot of
final.
them.
He has like 30,000 good quotes, but one I really liked was, I was in the final 9 for Worlds 2 years in a row, but nobody remembers that. Everybody remembers that Avery won and EMAC won. I'm pretty
Yep.
sure, or something like that, and it's
Yeah.
true.
Right.
But he still played
Right.
great. You can't take it away. He just wasn't world champion that time, and I didn't win Ottawa that year. But it's still fun to think back and reflect and think about how close it could have been.
Yeah, because it kind of goes back to what we were talking about with, the first place or last place, and those kind of stories. It's I've got one too from the same year. That's it's
Yep,
like
you lived it. You lived it. You were
yeah,
there.
and I relive it. I relive it frequently, but I relive it because what's also attached to the failure of going out of bounds 3 times in a row is the first 2 rounds and then the third round. And so it's it's the best, it's both the good and the bad. And I think that the value of those recollections is overcoming that fear of the failure, because those are pretty, like, they're real stories and they're real detailed stories, but at the same time the overall theme is failure. And when
Hole
we
one
look
DDO.
at these
Sorry, dynamic just open.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Hole 1.
So, I regarding your Ledgestone that one year, then Worlds, when we were filming it and doing round coverage the next year, I think.
Yep.
I 100% forgot about that when I asked you to do like a whole preview on the bridge hole.
I remember
I didn't
yeah.
realize at all. And I was like, hey, can you walk through how you're supposed to play this hole?
I
And you were
remember
like, sure,
that
that's
day.
fine, whatever.
You should have been like, yeah, I can show you how other people play it for sure.
Right.
Well, and I think I remembered saying yes because I was like, yeah, of course I birdied it. Last year I birdied it 3 times in a row, and then I didn't. But yeah, here's how you do it.
Yeah,
I'm
I can
so
show you
sorry.
how.
I
But-
did not realize.
No, dude, it's all good. And
Anthony said
really
something when
the
we got back. I was like, gold player.
And then Danny didn't sleep for a week. Like, thinking AJ
It's actually
hated
been
him.
4 years. He's just been
my bad.
waiting for this moment.
My
Yeah.
bad.
all is forgiven. But I guess the point is that the point of why I brought it up and talked about it and rambled for a few minutes on it is like that it's a sign of maturity to acknowledge your mistakes and take ownership of them in order to learn from them and move on and prove your resiliency to yourself, because that's at the end of the day that's who cares about
Yeah.
the resiliency is yourself.
I think that's the attitude to have. Like, I don't like, in a way, I see what he's saying, but you shouldn't care to do a whole preview of that hole. Like,
Yeah.
if you can't, like, you remember the hole, you remember what happened. Like you said, you think about it like I do, but that doesn't mean you can't, like, talk about it and reflect on it. And, like, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they asked me to do a preview of hole 1 of Jones Gold, I'd tell them to, like, kick rocks and I'd walk away. But,
You won't have to play that whole.
yeah, no,
Ever
never
again.
again.
I do think there's
It's just for you.
like the saying that time heals all wounds. I think that kind of definitely plays into that scenario, because a year had passed, and I do remember a week after what.
I just realized we have 2 questions left. Wrap it up, AJ.
Oh, sick.
We got 2.
Okay, so I
bangers.
remember.
What was the
So
question?
Danny asked me about that hole a year after the when I took an 8 on it. 1 week after I took an 8 on it, I was in Maine and just finished a tournament, and we're like, oh, who made the final 9? I was on the lead card in 4th place, and I fell out of the final 9, and I overheard someone saying like, oh yeah, Ricky made it, blah blah. Blah. Ricky made it, Kevin made it, Jordan made it, and so made it. And then they're like, oh, what happened to AJ? Oh, he kind of fell off a little bit. And then I heard them say, oh man, that AJ, he just can't close it out. And it was 1 week after, the very next week after that heartbreaking loss. And I remember hearing that, like standing up, looking over, like with just like that.
I'm literally right here.
eye daggers.
Where did you bury him?
Yeah.
Where's
Hold
the
on, let me
body?
mute your mic first.
Where's the body?
No, I stood up, eye daggers, and stormed off. And that's what I did a week after, and yet a year after, completely different reaction. So yeah, the time heals all wounds, and it's tough. You have to go through those really difficult failure moments rather than just try to go around them.
For sure.
Yep.
I agree.
All right, Zach.
Sorry.
Let's go.
Question 4. I almost skipped this one.
Might be.
Across your career, this is going to end the show, so we need you to take us out on a good note with these last 2.
Okay.
Across your career, what percentage of the time have you finished inside the top 10 of all your events?
Wow.
It's a great question. I'm going to guess, because, I started out playing a lot of more like regional stuff, which helps. Let's go 48%.
Oh.
Sorry. I don't know. I was going to say like 52, but I don't know.
Give yourself way more credit.
Way
than
more
that.
credit? I mean,
Oh, good thing it wasn't the other way around.
yeah, no, like,
Oh, you're
dude,
going to be
come
very
on.
disappointed.
you busted way over. We're playing Price is Right.
You need to
rules.
humble
Always
yourself
in
a little
effect.
bit. Let's
All right,
talk about more
62%.
times that we lost
Give
a big
yourself more
tournament.
credit.
62 higher.
Yeah.
73,
A little bit lower.
67,
A little bit higher.
69,
Nice.
A little bit higher.
68,
That is not higher than 69.
67, 71.
There you go. 71% top 10
Okay.
finishes. That's great.
I don't know. I mean, I just thought of a lot of events and I just threw out a number, but yeah, I guess 48 is
Yeah,
pretty low.
That's pretty low.
Yeah.
All right. Final question. Dun, dun, dun.
Dum, dum, dum.
Oh, wait.
Across all of the events that you've played, I will give you half credit if you want to know the number of events you've played. What is the total number of strokes that you have thrown in your sanctioned PDGA
Oh
career?
my gosh, what kind of question is this?
This is to close the show out.
I've played like 300 some tournaments,
Copyright.
320,
That's close.
340, somewhere in there.
It's high, but that's close.
Okay, yeah.
This is coming from Statmando, by the way. Shout out to them for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
information.
Dude, those guys that's some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Got to chat with them a little bit at Maple Hill. Mm-hmm. Cool stuff they got going on over there.
Answer the question.
Yeah, I'm trying to buy more time. Thank you. Total number of throws.
Strokes. I don't.
Strokes.
There's going to be some OBs in there,
right,
penalties, whatever. Total strokes across your PDGA career.
Gosh. This is...
It's a hard question.
That is a hard question.
People have
Trying to-
gotten close.
Really?
Yeah, I think Kona was the closest, or at least I just remember being most surprised because she started so young when there was events where she would finish with
Yeah,
300 strokes, and so yeah, those are her
60.
words, not mine.
No, hold on.
Need a number, Zach.
Okay. Is there anything you want to ramble a little bit while?
Sure. I was just going to say, that makes me think like, hey, how many,
What's the deal with airline food?
I don't know, like 60,000?
That's a little high.
Yeah.
47,884.
Okay.
This shows
I
285
busted.
events.
if you count Southern Nationals events, then
And
yes,
like,
you're correct.
local flights, brawls that I go play, we're probably talking 60,000 for sure.
Sure, in your competitive career, but the question was PDGA
No, those were
sanctioned career?
competitive. You did you say PDJ?
I did say it. Rewind the tape.
Did you say PDJ?
I said it.
Danny?
Uh,
No. I'm good.
Still surprisingly close considering you played 285 sanctioned events.
Okay.
So a lot of events, a lot of strokes. Still a pretty good answer.
I busted.
You did. Bummer. On that note, we got to get you out
yeah, it's starting to stink around
of
here.
here.
I'm driving home. I'm
Appreciate
Oh, man.
appreciate you stopping by, Zach, answering our
thanks.
questions, playing the game.
leaving. Thanks for having me.
AJ, thanks for
Thanks for talking with us.
doing the stuff. Danny, thanks for doing the stuff.
Anytime.
I really
What?
just want to take a second to appreciate your tolerance and
Thank
your
you.
patience when
Thank
it
you.
comes to
Thank you, AJ.
To
I
you?
appreciate that.
Specifically, the two of you.
Oh, you were talking
oh.
to him. My bad.
It's fine.
Hey, thanks for letting
Zach,
me
it's fine.
come in here and do this.
It
Nathan.
was
Hey, you hungry?
fine. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Join the Facebook group if you haven't. Join the squad. Follow Zach. Support Zach on tour. Follow AJ. Support AJ. Do all that stuff.
follow and support.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for all of it.
We'll see you next time.
Peace.